On this episode of Delivering Marketing Joy, we talk with Michelle Turner about the customer experience and how culture affects the bottom line. Hi, everybody. Once again, this is another episode of Delivering Marketing Joy. I am your host, Kirby Hasseman. Thank you so much for being here. Today, I want to welcome a really good friend of mine, Michelle Turner. She is the owner of several jewelry stores and really an interesting business mind. And so I want to welcome Michelle to the show. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
So one of the things, I know you and I have talked, separately from this before, and one of the things I know about you guys is you focus a lot on the customer experience. When you come into Dean's Jewelry, it's clear that that's important. So why is that important, and how does it separate you?
Well, I think it's extremely important, mostly because anything that you can buy from me, you can get anywhere else. And with the internet being what it is, you don't even have to leave your house. So when we do leave our houses, we do want an experience and we do want to feel good. And so it's really important to us for that reason. We want our customers to come in. We refer to them as guests. We welcome them into our home because it is our home. So the customer experience for that reason for the customers, and then also for my team, not just to, I wouldn't ever want them to just be a clerk. They come to work every day. They're with me more than 40 hours a week. So, in order for them to have a good experience in their work environment and love what they do. So it's important for multiple levels.
Yeah, and that certainly translates. And it's funny, that leads really nicely into my next question, because you can tell when you come into Dean's Jewelry that culture is important to you. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about that in the past. Do you really think, people talk about that, and I think sometimes it's like, oh, it's this warm and fuzzy thing, but I get the impression from you that you believe it affects the bottom line.
Yeah.
So how does it do that? Why does it do that?
Why does it do that? Well, the culture I've found with our businesses, and I work with my brother, mm-hmm. So he and I share a lot of beliefs. And when we have our team, if you have somebody that the culture doesn't fit, I don't hire for jewelry experience or knowledge or diamond experience. I hire for attitude and vision and being humble and all of these things. So you have to have a family because, again, I keep going back to that. We're a family business, and we make sure that that's just kind of how we operate. Mm-hmm. So, as far as the culture goes, if you don't share views, if you have somebody that's going to come to work and not be excited or I don't know, I don't want to say baggage, but that's what it is. And, they bring it in, then it affects every single person that's there, and suddenly you have all of this negativity that's going on instead of the focus on what the main goal is, and that's what being happy and making people happy every single day. And so that's why it affects the bottom line. Mm-hmm. Because, when we're spending too much time worrying about anything that isn't in that moment, then we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, which is creating experience for our customers.
Yeah, it's funny. I think when people hear, and not everybody, but I think there's a percentage of business owners, and they hear culture, and it's just a warm and fuzzy thing. So I like to just dig in and say, explain how it does. It really does. It makes a better workplace, but that mm-hmm. does translate to the bottom line for sure.
Yeah, and we've been very. I'm very blessed with the team that we have in both stores. But even our interview process is pretty extensive. It's at least 3 interviews. We talk to the rest of the team mm-hmm. about this person that we're thinking about bringing in. Our core values, our mission statement is a group effort, and what is the most important thing to you? And we talk to each and every one of our team, and we made those together. So I think that having your entire company be a part of your culture and living and breathing it is what makes you successful.
Well, I think to your point, when you do that, when you take those steps, not only with hiring but with culture, you feel really comfortable with, quite frankly, folks who are on your team being your voice too.
Right.
Yeah. So one is kind of a short one. I was thinking about you, and I thought, I wonder who influences you, who inspires you in business. So, do you have a group of people, one person? Who would do that for you?
Well, definitely have a group of people. The one thing that I've learned, we're a third generation company, and the one thing I've learned is you can't do it alone, and it's okay to make mistakes. So I ask a lot of advice to a lot of different people. Joe Romano is president of a company called Skull and Company. It's about sculling, and it's teamwork and very transparent. So I have an opportunity to talk to a lot of other independent owners across the United States and learn from them. Let's see, Brian Dodge is somebody who's the leadership in finding your life's purpose, very positive, that I've seen recently that is definitely very inspiring to me. So, I have a large group of people that I pull from. Mostly I would say anybody that I meet that is really passionate about what they do and loves what they do has something to teach me. And so I'm real interested in what they have to say.
Well, I've noticed, and I'm going off script a little bit here, but you also invest in going to events where there's education and networking and that sort of thing. And I'm a believer in that, and I see that you do too. What do you get out of those kind of things?
I would say hopefully a whole lot. And I always reevaluate, my pages of notes when I get home. But I think it's important to, whatever I get out of it, I share. And I guess the biggest thing that I would say that I've learned in this past year is that it really is important not to just take your knowledge and work your knowledge, but to share it and teach others. And that's how, you can grow as a whole. So learning and sharing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle. Appreciate you answering my questions. Now you get a chance to ask me one. So let her rip.
All right. Well, as we're coming up on 2015, I would like to know what marketing approach you would take with the 2015 consumer.
Great question. I have been saying for a while now, I think we have entered into a give-first economy. What I mean by that is, we've spent the entirety of our business lives pushing our message out as fast and as hard as we can. And I think that we've entered through social media, through just the way the world works informationally right now, we've entered into a different time. And I think the best marketers provide value first before they go for the ask, before they go for the sale. And so in 2015, I know that what we're focusing on and what I hope a lot of our clients are focusing on is providing value first. I think it helps build credibility, integrity, and so that when you do go for the sale, when you go for the Valentine's Day event, you've got an audience built up that welcome your sales message because, you've built that trust with them. So I think my advice for 2015 is to give first, whether it be fun stuff or promo or through social media. Give first before you ask, and I think that your ask will be more successful.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Kirby. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Michelle, you're always an out-of-the-box thinker, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. So that wraps up another edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. We will see you next time.